Hello everyone. I've been a little bit sick the past few days, so I've just been staying at home mostly, right? Grinding on Torchlight. Okay, so as of now, as of day 3, I guess. Okay, so I am rank 1 currently for order calling Moto, so this character is pretty decent for now. So this is just a quick video if you can't really find a very strong build to like clear T8 maps, like a bit like to clear it fast. Okay. So okay, I'm just gonna quickly go through maybe my talents first. Okay, so it's just generic minion things. I'll have the build code in the description as well. Okay, so yes, very generic stuff. Okay, so some things that we need to do. Okay, so our main skill is the Spider Tank. Okay, so it's a projectile based what do you call it, skill, I guess. Okay, so and it skills based off dex and in. So what or at least things that have changed, um or at least I feel that has changed between the last league and this is now stats probably matter more because there's not a lot of ways to scale your damage. So I think a lot of builds are actually going for some sort of stat stacking. So False God Skin is really popular on a lot of builds. So for example, I've got like 700 combined stats, right? Which is like 350% around there, right? Additional damage for your skills. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's kind of how we are scaling our damage as well. Okay, so again, we'll just quickly go through the skills. So we are doing multi-strike on Spider Tank and we'll have some gear choices later on. Um, this can be replaced with electric overload, can be replaced with tendonslicer. Basically, most of the gems are gonna be about the same amount of power. So I only got this because this is technically 36%, so it's a little bit more damage, and it makes it so I don't have to summon my minions at the start of the stage. Okay, so other things that you could do. This is for mainly for clear. We do have an alt gem, right? So this thing does do more damage, right? If it's against a single target, or if let's say you have lesser damage where you're not one-shotting most things, then this alt gem is actually better for single target damage so far. That's what I found out. Okay, so but since my damage is high enough, I'm using multiple projectiles for faster clear. Okay, so yes, this one. So this focus fire one is really good once you swap off mind infusion for the boots. Okay, so I'll talk more about that again. Let's just quickly go through the skills. So we have a curse, electrocute, spiral strike for movement speed, dark gate, which is convocation, machine army. Okay, we have precise weapon M, thunder spirit, electric conversion, and precise projectiles. Because again, it's a projectile based things. For our candles, so far I'm using just +1 minion skill level. Probably upgrade that if I continue playing this character. Okay, so regarding our gear, we are using multi-strikes, so you do want to use a Farewell Desire and use isomorphic arms together with that. For offhand, we have this Glacier Caster Shield. So the only important stat here is the Shield Mana Compensation, which is basically mana reservation efficiency. Okay, so helmet, we have Fiend Crown. Fiend Crown is actually pretty cheap now. So we got, okay, maybe not that, but I corrupted this myself. Okay, so we got Fiend Crown. We have chest piece. You just want int, energy shield, resistances. Obviously this is, I already crafted this, but before this, you just have to use like all T2 mods or T3 mods and you should be fine. Another cheap source of basically damage is your dream crafting. So you can get all these damage mods for free. Dream crafting is actually pretty cheap in terms of the power that you get. So pretty good. Okay, for gloves, you can either use a rare pair of gloves or because I am lazy, the only thing, or at least the main thing that I wanted for this is trigger the main skill for every 5 meter of movement made. So in the event that like my minions die, right, just whirling blades around will actually resummon a minion every like don't know how many seconds, right? Every 3 seconds. So obviously if you have a really big hit, then you know, you have to manually resummon your minions, which kind of sucks on the higher time marks, but it is what it is, right? So this is purely just for QL for me. The max life to energy shield helps with survivability, and obviously this 4% minion damage for every additional minion you have. I am not sure if it actually works with elemental duo, right? I mean, I assume it does, so that's why it gives us like a little bit more additional minion damage, right? So it should give us 6 minions plus 2 spirits, which is 8, so 32% minion damage, additional minion damage. Then of course, like I said, we are stacking some soft in, so we do have 10% in on that. And yeah, it's not too bad, right? Then if you don't use this, I would suggest using some sort of rare glove. So yep, as you can see, int energy shield res. Yeah, it's very generic. Okay, amulet wise, I mean, so far I got this one, which is int dex. Ideally you do want all int. This is actually pretty cheap. You do not need this max energy shield for every 52 whatever, for every stat. Kind of lost track of my thoughts there, but this is actually pretty cheap, 160. Yep. Cry of Divinity, you do not need this, but it will help with your damage if you do get this corruption. I will suggest, if you want to farm this yourself, all you have to do is to get to the treasure trove, right? If you are playing Moto, like this one, you pretty much always drop Cry of Divinity, which will only cost 1 Emberon core to corrupt. And then you can just keep running this stage over and over again until you corrupt it to the command one, right? Until you get this command line. Okay, for boots, same thing, movement speed, minion skill level, energy shield. So the alternative to this is Mind Infusion. Okay, so this casts Dark Gate every 6 seconds when you use Empower skill. So if you are using Mind Infusion, which I was previously, you would change Dark Gate to basically Elemental Shock, and then that would trigger Dark Gate. Okay, and in that case, you would swap this one for any other sort of damage mod like Wind Projectiles, Electric Overload, like I said just now. Yep. Okay, so this only works when you cast Dark Gate. So if you are using the boots, this is actually a pretty big damage loss, right? So it's only because I have Dark Gate now, which I can cast every like about 2 seconds, I guess. Right, so the buff is up quite a lot. So ideally I do want more cooldown recovery speed so that I have this on all the time. Okay. Okay, rings again. Int, dex, res, index, res is pretty much just that. If you don't have if you have a different pair of gloves with resistances on it, then you can go for like minion crit damage, minion attack speed, minion whatever damage on your rings instead. Right, I'm only using resistance rings because, yeah, I'm using this pair of gloves, so this is rough. Okay, then in terms of hero traits, I mean, this is what I have so far. So we do have, actually, I just realized I have not upgraded this to increase the trait level yet. Yeah, okay, that's weird. Okay, I'll upgrade this eventually. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is int. Any sort of substat that's pretty good, like crit damage, crit strike chance, that's fine. I have ES here. This one I don't think is very easy to get this one. It is quite expensive now. I got it for fairly cheap. Yeah, so this is pretty good. I think hero trait levels in general for all your things should be a pretty sizable increase in damage, right? So yeah. Okay, in terms of your slates, I'm using this. So minions are immune to erosion damage. Okay, the reason why we need this is because your hero trait causes your minions to take secondary erosion damage equal to 100% of max life and energy shield. So this is gonna basically kill your minions and it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So you do need that immune to erosion damage node somewhere, I feel. Okay, so far that's what I feel. Yeah, then the rest of it is just very generic +1 level of synthetic troop because it's cheaper than +1 minion. Yeah, and then ideally, like you can see, I have random things here that I have yet to replace, so I will replace that eventually, which I think I should replace it soon. Like all of these are useless to me right now. Max mana, yeah. Okay, but I think that's about it. I don't really have time to edit the video, so sorry if this is not as concise as my other videos probably. Okay, but I just want to put this out there. Okay, order calling Moto is pretty strong. It is a one button build. All I'm doing is whirling blades around, and everything just dies around me. Okay, so I think that's all that I have. Okay, thanks for watching the wet puddle. Bye bye.